Good morning. I've waited a few days, but I want to discuss these school shootings and not just the one in Florida. Um, I just watched a video by Cabin Talk, Claudia, and it inspired me to say something. I was in the school system and teaching students at the junior high and high school level for over a decade, okay? Well over a decade. And I loved my students. And I saw them at their best and I saw them at their worst. I was teaching during 9/11 and saw their reactions. I saw them react to physical violence among other students. I had seen them react to personal things that were going on in their lives. I had seen reactions to a student having epileptic seizures. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Deaths in their families, death of a teacher, death of a friend, etc. And I never saw just cold and callous behavior. Not when it comes to something as serious as death, especially if it were to happen right in front of you. People want to say that, oh, well, maybe they misunderstand, young people today and they're exposed to so much violence on TV and the games that they're playing that, maybe this is how they react and, they just don't understand their behavior. I'm here to tell you that the amount of interviews that I've seen where students are smiling, smirking, just telling it like it's a story, like they weren't even standing there. Because you know what? It seems to me they weren't standing there. Maybe they didn't see what they say they're seeing because their reactions are just not normal at all. It's not how somebody reacts when they see a horrific scene in front of them. In front of them. There are some interviews where they saw a teacher shot in the head, a teacher shot in the arm, bodies laying around. And they're talking about it like it's just, they're going to the movies that afternoon. Or what happened at the dance last weekend. I'm sorry. There's something terribly wrong. They're lying. The shooting either happened and they didn't see a dang thing and they went out another exit to where they didn't witness anything, or they're lying. They're exaggerating. They're making things up. There's no way that many students did an interview and saw what they saw and they're just smiling about it. Like they talked to Nicholas Cruz and he was standing right there. And then we have many, many students saying there were two shooters, there were three shooters, even I heard four. They can't even get their stories straight. If there were shooters, I don't understand. One thing I can testify to is that these children are not normal. And no, children are not this callous in 2018. I'm sorry. And people are, scared to speak up on it because, you know, possibly children died. But you got to speak up. I don't know whether anyone died or not. I'm not positive. I don't believe the news channels anymore. I would have to drive down to Florida and myself interview parents and friends of these children and see the reactions and see how they react. My children were in a near fatal car accident in 2004. I saw the aftermath of my child vomiting blood, 5 doctors telling me he's nearly going to die. Now, granted, these are my children, but I wouldn't be up for an interview. They had to have known some of these students. I know the schools are large. But just to say I was standing next to the shooter and we were having a casual conversation and he was done shooting, I guess that's what's implied. Come on. Come on. I was upset about somebody I was in elementary school with, and she was a twin and she died. I was upset about that, just thinking of the horrific thing her twin must be going through 30 years later. Now, granted, I'm a woman, but some of these students they are interviewing are girls, young girls. They're not even boys that somehow sometimes are taught not to show their emotions and they might go home and cry later. Something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong. And if we can't point out the obvious, we're in big trouble. All right, I just had to speak my piece. Have a great day and think about it. Really think about it logically for yourself. Thank y'all.